Welcome everyone to Hoar's Guitars. Jeremy, what's up, man?
Hey man, thanks man.
What inspired this first guitar, or necessarily the woodworking, to begin that passion?
I would say just the passion for music and I don't know, just building things. And then, I quit drinking alcohol. Really, that was the big step. Once I quit drinking alcohol, I needed something to do. Idle hands, you know what I mean? I gotta do something.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I started building something. So started out with an electric guitar, and that went over pretty good. I built a bunch of them, and I had a couple buddies want me to build an acoustic. So I did a lot of research on it, and I started doing it. And that was back in 2020. Back during all the crisis. So yeah, and here I am now. I think I'm on 84 now, so yeah.
It was really good, man. I do have one of your Hoar guitars. It's one of the 30s or the 40s, but it is there, so it's amazing to see this progression. So your progression from the first to number 84 has been a beautiful transition, or a masterpiece in a sense. How much in a percentage do you think you've gotten better or faster?
I don't know about faster. I think I'm kind of getting slower because I'm taking more time. I'm doing a little more detail with them. I would say percentage-wise, 75% better. I still got a lot more to go. There's a lot of people out there that build guitars, and some of them are really, really phenomenal. But one of these days I'll get there. So.
Now, what kind of thoughts come through as you're making your guitars?
I would say each individual one's different. If I'm making it personal for somebody, I'll get inspired by their music. I'll jam to their music a lot, to give me some inspiration. If it's just like a random, donation guitar or something, I'll just, it's just a hobby. That's kind of what it started out to be anyway, and that's kind of what I want to do, because I'm a construction worker. I do all kinds of different things, This is kind of a hobby that's kind of turned into more of a passion building, all the time now, so, yeah.
How big do you want to get?
I don't know about big, but just enough to take care of my family, man. Welcome to Hoar's Custom Builds. I'm gonna sit here and run through a guitar on how I kind of put it together and explain it. It's pretty basic to me, but it's kind of foreign to everybody else, I'm sure. I usually take a board. This is walnut. It's a real pretty wood. I usually take it and I'll take it over here to my saw, and I'll kind of run it through, and I'll rip it up to about, 1/4-inch pieces. And then I'll take it over to my little jig I made up, and I'll glue everything all up, which makes panels. And then I'll take the panel after it's all glued up, and I'll cut it all out of my saw here. After I take my template and draw my template on it, I got here. Just traces it out, cut it out, pretty basic. And then after I do that, take this mahogany up. Take it, and I rip it up on my saw here, down in strips. Usually glue my strips on here. Well, I got my own pattern I use. I'm not going to give out a secret, because that's kind of what makes it my Hoar guitar. But anyway, after I get that glued out, I usually take another piece of walnut here, and I would rip it down to whatever size I need, and for my sides. I take my sides. Usually they're about, I gotta get everything down to 2 millimeters. After I rip it all down, I usually take it down to my back of my saw, and my sander, and run it to my sander. And I put it in this little jig here. This thing will bend the sides. Gets my sides that I need. After I get that done, I wish I had an example, but I don't. I would take it and put it in this mold that creates the side of the guitar. And once I get that glued up, I put all my purfling on there, which is a border all the way around the top and the bottom. I usually take that, and I take the front, top, and the bottom, and I glue it together one at a time. I'll glue the top first. So glue that top on there, and I'll take it out of the jig, and then I'll glue the bottom on there. And it's time for the neck. Gotta get the neck done. I usually take I laminate 3 pieces of wood together. Usually take a 1x6 of each, of walnut and maple, glue them all together, let it sit up for 24 hours, take it over to my saw, set my saw up to my size I need, rip it on through. Once I get that done, I take a router I got, and I router a channel in here. So it keeps my truss rod up. Kind of keeps the neck from, moving. Once you ship them to other places, your humidity here and there, your neck's gonna move. So you gotta have access to be able to tighten and unloosen that thing. Then I take it and I make a fretboard. Cut this guy up on there, and I rip him all up. I usually get him down to, I got one here, but I ain't gonna really show the name. Usually I cut my own frets on it, and I glue that thing on the, once I get all that done, I glue that on my neck, and I get a neck done. I got a neck over here I'll kind of show you. I'll walk around the brook here. I got a neck here. After it's all glued up, get my heel on there. It's kind of what it looks like. I take a pattern, I draw my pattern on there, I cut my headstock off, and I would take a cover like that, and I would place a cover on there and glue my cover on there. Once you get that on there, then it's time for the fret wires. Now after you get your neck on there, like so, you tap all these fret wires in there and cut all the fret wires. Then about that time, it's time to put purfling on, and that's after you get your front, your top, into your mold, complete out of your mold. You glue this on with a special kind of glue, and after you get all that done, you glue your neck onto your body, and then it's on to strings, hardware. Then you end up with something like this, about half done. After that, take it in my spray room, you spray it. Alright man, and that's pretty much how you get a Hoar guitar. The basic run through of it. If you're interested, hit my socials up. I got Instagram, I got YouTube, Facebook, HoarGuitars.com. All my guitars start out at $500 and they go up from there, depending on your custom. You're never going to get a custom job like this in a box store, I guarantee that. I guarantee my work also. If it's broke, something happens in shipping, ship it back to me out free of charge.
Was it your love for music or your love for woodwork?
Well, it was kind of a mixture of both. I really like to build things, and then, like I said, I quit drinking, so I had idle hands. I had to do something. My shop's right here at my house, so I have all the time. My kids are pretty much grown now. So I had to get into something, and it's kind of turned into, building them all the time now.
Now you've had a couple high-profile ones. Do you want to talk a little bit of the ones that you've already made for some of the artists?
Well, I've made a lot of local people around Illinois. The Pimps. I made some for them. Nicotine Poetic, they're a band out of Bloomington. I like to get my guitars in the hands of musicians that'll play them and give me feedback, even negative feedback, because if I know the negative things, I can fix them and correct them. I need to know that thing. So, I just recently got one out. I reached out to, big thanks to Shannon and Chad Gray, man. I couldn't thank him enough. That's crazy that he would actually put a video up like that. That's crazy. But thanks, Chad. But if you inspire me, I'm gonna get one to you. So, you never know.